Žaismo DNR sveikinasi tiesiai iš GameOn parodos. Čia pakalbinome konferencijos pranešėją ir MadFinger Games Studio vadovą Miguel Caron, kuris pasakoja, kaip svarbu palaikyti gerą darbo kultūrą ir komunikaciją organizacijoje.
So, when did appear the need to talk about communication and work culture?
It's when I joined the video game industry, my first assessment of the video game industry was that it was not a balanced industry in terms of leadership and in terms of company culture. It was a lot of abuse. A lot of leaders would, ask too much from the dev, and there was a lot of issue with companies being created and dying, often by a single bad decision from an executive. And happier for me, coming from other industry, I came from the IT industry and the electronic engineering industry. It was the amount of issue in the video game was a lot bigger than other industry. I've never seen exec being able to destroy the works of dev with one decision in other industry. There's too many fail-safe because industry is more mature. So when I out of luck, I was able to have the opportunity to create 3 studios in the video games from scratch. To a very Funcom, the one I discussed about, was 250 devs in 18 months, and this was a very good experience for me, and I wanted to share that experience with other young leaders. When it comes to executive, it's pretty much too late. The first rule that I mentioned about is humility, and when they get to be VP, often they lose that humility. But I'm trying to influence young leaders, indie developers that one day will become a AAA large studio maybe, to actually start building the right culture from the get-go, because their brain has plasticity at that level and they're able to learn. And once you learn that humility is your driver, that humility allows you to learn, and that ego is a status quo that stops your evolution, when you know this at a young age, then your mind is programmed the right way. If you don't do it now, then it's too late. And then you've seen a lot of horrible, toxic environment in the video game industry. You hear about Gamersgate, you hear about all these evil stuff, and a good culture will correct itself. A good culture will not wait for executive to watch. You don't have to put control. You don't have to, when you trust your team and you hire the right team and you allow them to fail fast, fail small, then you create a positive culture that reciprocate with the player with the fan base as well, with the player. So it's trying to change the industry one leader at a time.
What are the biggest challenges when it comes to developing a good communication?
Ego. Yeah, ego. Leaders have to understand they're there to serve. We serve our devs. The devs create the value, and we are the catalyst of that value. Without the devs, leaders is just noise in the video game industry. So we to be able to be a catalyst, you need a core value, and that core value is not created by you; it's created by your dev. And so when you try to change a culture, and then people are locked in their perception of who does what. When a leader thinks that, oh, I've shipped 5 MMOs. I'm sorry, man, you haven't shipped 5 MMOs, And they actually, in their head, after a while, it becomes a truth to them. And then it's hard to break. So really, humility is allowing you to learn whatever level you are from whoever it is that teaches you something. From a homeless to a superstar, it doesn't matter. You have to learn, and you have to be a better leader every day when you go to bed, and to have that communication, to be able to do this, I need a little door, I need an opening. And if the ego is too strong, it's a brick wall. I cannot teach anything. So humility is the key element. It's the one thing that makes it happen, and the reverse ego is the one thing that I have to either change a company or change the leaders. Simple as that.
What are the problems that organization would have to face if it ignores the good communication, the culture?
Oh my God. I don't want to bitch other studios, but you can Google studios where wife have sued the studio because the leaders of the studio abused their husbands, and the wife didn't see the husband at all. There's a spin-off, like there's MadFinger was created because the studio where they were before had a toxic culture and they didn't want that, so they actually created their new studio. So that past studio lost all their great positive leaders and employee because the culture was bad. And these guys decided to create their own culture in their own studio without all these, dominance and submissive relationship that you have in certain AAA studio.
So thank you very much.
My pleasure, Aurelia. Thank you.